Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and a new card making video. Today I am going to show you how to make Z-fold cards. They are the easiest interactive card, and I'm going to be playing with hot foiling. This is the Illustrated Floral and Solid Hot Foil plate set from Spellbinders. It's actually the kit of the month for August 2022. It has some gorgeous plates in it, 4 hot foil plates, one that's a floral, one that's a solid. It is super cool. I am going to show you how to use that, and 2 sentiments. There are also 3 dies to cut out the sentiments and the floral piece, but not the solid. And it comes with a roll of gold matte foil. Ooh, I'm so excited to play with that. So we're going to use this to create our 3 Z-fold cards today. So let's do the hot foiling first. I can show you how that works. This is my quick trimmer, and I'm going to use that to cut the foil that I need to fit the solid plate. And I'm using this piece of paper so I can have a guide as to how big I want to trim my hot foil. So first I'm going to hot foil the floral piece, and to do that I put it on my preheated hot foil system face up. Foil is pretty side down, then the paper, my shims, and I press the timer. When the timer goes off, I can remove that dock, run the whole thing through my die cutting machine. Then I remove the plates, carefully take off the paper and remove the foil to reveal the gorgeous hot foiled flower. Oh, I love it. It's magical every time. Okay, but we have this piece left over that we're going to save, and that's what we're going to pair with our solid plate. So we're going to heat this up 3 times without putting anything on it. To do the second time, you need to remove the dock, put it back in, and do that a 3rd time. This is what Spellbinders recommends for solid plates, heating it up 3 times. Then you take that foil, put it pretty side down onto the plate, and then you put your paper down, push your timer, add your little spacers on top, and then when the timer goes off, we run that through the die cutting machine. The heat and the pressure are what is transferring that hot foil onto the cardstock, and I recommend using some very smooth cardstock for this. Spellbinders has some, works the best for solid hot foiling. Now, they also have solid plates sold separately from this kit, like this circle right here I'm going to use. I thought I would show you that as well. They have different sizes, different shapes of these solid plates. So this time I'm going to use rainbow foil to hot foil that floral image, and it's pretty gorgeous foil. And again, I want to make sure my plate is preheated and ready to go, and there's a little green light that shows you when it's ready. So just make sure when you're using it a lot and you let it sit for a minute, it can go off. So you want to make sure it's still preheated. Okay, so I'm saving that solid piece, and I'm going to put it onto my paper using the solid circle. So there you can see I'm laying that pretty side down onto that solid circle that's been preheated 3 times on my hot foil system before I run that through my die machine. Now let's take a look at the rainbow circle with the flowers in white. I love this. I just love it. I think it's so fun. And you could use these solid plates with any other hot foiled plates that you already have. Okay, so let's go a completely different route. Hot foil the sentiment thinking of you with that same matte gold foil that came in the kit. And I used a large piece of foil, but that's because I want to put that onto my solid plate. I want that solid area to be gold with that sentiment as the only thing white. Yeah, so let's see how that turned out. I have a little excess foiling and I can remove that. I'll show you how coming up in the video. Very easy to do, so don't stress it. Now it's time to we're die cutting. We're die cutting. That's what it's called. All the things except this piece right here does not have a die. So Spellbinders does have a certain die they recommend you could use if you rotate it. I will link that for you. I forgot the name of it, but it's more of like a window shape, round at the top, square at the bottom, but you can do some partial die cutting in order to do that. So right here, I just used a sanding eraser from Tombow to get rid of that excess foiling. And now I need to use my scissors to go ahead and die cut this or fussy cut this out rather. And it's a pretty easy shape to cut, so don't be too afraid to do it. It's not that hard. As much as I am a fan of dies, I can do some fussy cutting. So there you can see my shapes all ready to go. I did use a die for this circle because I have a lot of circle dies. But if your edges are a little rough, you can take a sanding block around there, smooth them out, and it looks even better. All right, let's move on to our Z-fold card number 1. I have a piece of paper here that is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm scoring it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. Then I can fold that on the center score line, give it a nice good crease, and then I have it face up, and I'm folding that flap back on itself to create a Z. Super easy to do. This panel here I have is 1/4 of an inch smaller, so 2 1/2 by 4 inches. I'm going to emboss that with the embossing folder of the month, another great club kit from Spellbinders, and this woven pattern's gorgeous. Here I have the new plates from Spellbinders. They're the universal plates, and I'm showing you what plates I used for this folder A, B, and C to do some embossing with that folder. The 3D folders you get are going to have different plates, and by the way, you can use those plates with any embossing folders out there. It has different pieces you can interchange, and it comes with a little guide. So if you have like an embossing folder from Stampin' Up, it tells you what plates to use. It's very cool. This card is also getting an insert right there. So we have that color showing when the card is closed, and that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then I'm going to splatter it, because I love splatter, with my gold metallic watercolor, and it looks so gorgeous, if I don't say so myself. Now, when you mount your focal piece onto your card, it's going to go half on that side flap and cover half of the back panel of your card. So make sure you only put adhesive on half of it. You don't want to glue this shut. Then it's time to embellish. So I have some gold half pearls here, little baubles I'm going to glue down, and I just think embellishment really makes a card. It's that little something extra special that handmade cards are so awesome because they have, right? So there we go with the little gold pearls, and then you can write right here on that left-hand side on that white panel, or right where it can't be seen. If you don't care if your message is seen, fill out the whole thing. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. This is a vertical Z-fold card, scored exactly the same as the first one, folded exactly the same as the first one. It all comes to play to make it vertical by how you choose to decorate your card. It's going to stand up just like that. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to this time emboss a piece of brushed gold cardstock. So pretty. Now you see that I am taping this down. You want to be really careful removing that tape and kind of go slowly, because once that tape runs through the embossing folder, it can really stick down to your card. So make sure you have low-tack tape that is also maybe used a few times, then it's a little less tacky. All right, now you can see I've glued my insert in, and I am taking that solid Thinking of You hot foiled piece, adding one of the flowers to it. Isn't that so pretty? I love the white on gold with the gold on white. So very cool. I put an extra flower on the back just to stabilize that a little bit more. And then remember, you only want adhesive on the half of your piece that's going to touch the front panel of your card. Now I have some baubles that really match that kind of light teal cardstock that I have, and I'm going to glue those in place to embellish this card. I really debated doing some splatter on this one, but I liked it kind of how it was. And my hot foil, I don't know if you noticed when I peeled the foil off on this one, there was a little left on the paper, so the oval is not perfect, and I feel like that's kind of my splatter for this card. Okay, let's do card number 3, which is a mini Slimline Z-fold card. You need a piece of paper that's 12 inches by 3 inches. You score it at 6 inches and 3 inches. Then we're going to fold it the exact same way as card number 1. Fold it in half and fold that front panel back onto itself. Very easy. And then we have a cool kind of interactive card like that. All right, so now for this panel, we need to cut a piece that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And we can go ahead and emboss that with the folder just like we have with the other cards. And we have a super cute embossed square. I just think that the embossed panel adds a little extra something to these really simple cards. Another thing you could use there would be patterned paper. So that's a really cute way to use your pattern paper is on a Z-fold card. So this inner panel, 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then I'm adding this solid panel. I just did foil. I didn't hot foil anything into the foil before I used it with the solid panel. And that's going to be the thing that is going to highlight this rainbow flower on the front of my card. So it's going to be showing up behind it, and it's going to be a great place for my sentiment. So a lot of fun ways you can use different elements on Z-fold cards. Isn't that fun? All right, so speaking of sentiment, I didn't have any already hot foiled, so I brought my hot foil machine back out, and I'm hot foiling the other sentiment in this set, sending happiness. And again, you see I have that excess foiling. I was able to remove that with my sanding eraser. Another thing I wanted to point out to you if you're new to hot foiling, when you glue down your dies to die cut out things that are hot foiled, be really careful that you don't put tape over the hot foiled piece. It can really dull it out with some machines and some tape, so just be careful. All right, some more baubles. These are iridescent baubles, and I thought they were fun because when you turn them in the light, they kind of have a rainbow to them, and they went really well with my rainbow hot foiled floral swag there. So I added those around just like I did on my other cards, and that card is now complete. And check that out. There's another panel to write your personalized message on. So these cards are pretty quick and easy to do, don't you think? Yeah, and so fun to decorate. So there are my 3 cards for you today. I hope that you're inspired to create a Z-fold card. And let me know in the comments below if you have a favorite, if you've made these before, maybe you're inspired to do so, because I love chatting with you. So let's take one more close-up look at each card. And also, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I have new card making videos all the time. And the supplies I used are listed and linked for you in the description box below. And here's a few more videos from my channel that you might want to check out next. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you all again very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye!